Deathwatch.
We are picking up Tuesday morning. You are all enjoying breakfast in the hotel restaurant, discussing the details of the case. Vincent, you've regained 1 hit point from the night's rest. So you have the remainder of today and tonight to conclude your report on the Corbett house and present your findings to Mr. Knott, unless you wish to press him for more time. How would you guys like to proceed this morning? And on that note, Ezekiel probably makes an interruption and introduction.
I'm sorry I was late to the meeting. Didn't have to leave without me.
Who are you?
I'm Ezekiel, your fellow SEU member.
Yeah. If you guys attend him regularly, you would recognize him at least.
Have you now or ever been a member of the cult?
What court?
Cult.
What court?
Don't mind the hun there, hard to understand. He's asking you about a cult.
Oh no, those things give me the heebie-jeebies.
Trick question. We are part of a cult.
We are?
Well, isn't that what the, SCU is?
No. All right, sit down, Ezekiel. We were just discussing what to do with the mornings. We are but thinking about venturing into the Corbett house today, but there are some arrangements we have to make first.
Okay.
I'll pat my book bag. Newell here fell into a basement of an abandoned church and found, and I'll flip it open and start looking through it. Found got the navel. The book is gone.
What did you do with it?
I'll empty out my book bag or my satchel onto the table. Is the journal still there?
The journal is still there, yeah.
Yeah. We had found the book, some ancient tome in the bottom of the basement church, the church basement. But it's gone.
I didn't take it.
I'm not blaming you. Are you simple?
That's not a nice thing to say.
I'm not a nice person.
We should check with the front desk and see if anybody came in late last night.
I didn't even have time to transcribe anything to send to the university for translation.
Yeah, let's just check with the front desk.
Yes.
I'll go ask the front deskman is it the same guy that was on overnight?
He's getting ready to change out. He's actually conferring with another gentleman.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll interrupt their conversation and tell him I got a couple questions for him.
And you guys were staying at the Lennox Hotel, and his name was Solomon.
I'm describing you as a very simple young man, Justin.
Okay.
How old are you?
28.
Oh yeah, you're a young man. You're but a baby.
Yeah.
So they both look up at you, Joseph, when you walk up, because they're busy, conferring with each other. But they look up politely, at least, at your interruption.
All right, I'll ask him, Solomon, how many people did you see come in overnight that weren't guests?
We had no guests check in overnight, sir, and then nobody else came in. A few people that were guests left.
How many of those guests checked out overnight?
None of them checked out. They left to go out, presumably to do whatever you would do in Boston.
Oh, we got an issue. Is that one of my associates' rooms was broken into in the night, and some items are missing.
Oh, what items were missing?
There's a very important book.
I'm sure our maids haven't been in for the turn down yet. Are you certain he hasn't just misplaced it in the room somewhere? Perhaps I can help you search. I am getting off soon, but I have a few moments to spare.
I'll check with my associate and see if if he's open to the idea of your assistance. So if you want to hang around for a few minutes. Are there any back entry points that are open during the night in the hotel? Not even service entrances?
There's what would be a fire exit, but they keep it locked because code isn't up to...
What about service entrances for any of the staff?
Yeah, those are available to them, but it is a locked door, and we didn't have any deliveries.
What are there fire escapes on the building? Are they the outdoor?
Yeah, the metal outdoor kind.
Are the ladders up or down right now?
On the ground floor, they're up.
Okay, but everywhere else they're down.
Right.
All right. So yeah, I'll ask him to sit tight for just a bit, and I'll go and tell Johan that there weren't any visitors or any new guests in the night. The night watch or the night clerk Solomon says that he's happy to help us look around for that tome. Thinks that you might just have misplaced it. We should also check to make sure that your windows are locked.
Yes. I have him come up. Perhaps I have been getting a little absent-minded in my later years.
Okay. So yeah, I'll go back over and give him the room information and tell him that Mr. Dang it! I'm sorry. I got to write your name down.
I don't need Muller. I know my own dang name. I didn't write that down.
Your name is Muller?
Yeah.
Mr. Muller would appreciate his assistance.
All right, so he, with this desk hotel clerk in the lead, you guys head up to your room. Vincent Ezekiel.
What is your last name?
Newell.
Vincent? Can you spell that for me?
Newell.
You guys have finished up your meal. You're also down there with Finn McCracken.
Yeah,
McCracken?
he's mute.
He's mute. He was busily drawing something in his little notebook.
He's mute? I thought he was just stubborn.
No. He's mute. Yeah, I'll ask him, what's you writing there?
It's just a sketch. He shows it to you. It was a sketch of the Corbett house itself.
Oh, okay. Wait, did we go there?
No. You didn't go in it. You guys were across the street from it.
Okay.
At Mr. Dooley's.
Okay. Well, does it look good?
It's not bad.
I'll compliment him.
He nods his head graciously.
Well, let's go, Ezekiel. Let's see how they're going about looking for this book.
Okay.
So we'll go catch up with these guys.
What are the chances of there just being as many books as I could carry in my room?
I don't know how many. You could roll a 1d20.
Oh, where's my dice?
And how many did you take from the library?
Hey, John, roll a 1d20 for me.
15.
Yeah, so you had quite a few books. In fact, I suppose in that case, you would have an entire suitcase, a big one.
Sounds about right.
That you've already unloaded everywhere.
I'd probably sacrifice changes of clothing and various other stuff.
All right, so when you guys get up to your room, and Vincent and Ezekiel, you said you guys were going to follow after.
Yeah.
The clerk actually is like after you, Mr. Mueller.
Oh, danke. Yeah, I'll unlock the door and come in.
And how do you keep your room?
The books it's probably, the bed's made, but everything else is probably in disarray because I probably haven't been sleeping in the bed. I've probably been passing out in the chair. If there's any sort of table around, the books are stacked sort of haphazardly, but with some sort of organization that I know.
Okay.
And there is an overflowing ashtray of just like dawdle from my pipe.
Okay. So that's what you guys see. And in that state, at a cursory inspection, it's tough to quickly pick up any sign of rummaging or whatnot, because it also kind of looks like it's rummaged all the time.
Yeah, I'll also like if they go to pick up certain ones, no, gentle with that one. It's just very old.
I'll
Occasionally.
comment that I'm not sure how you didn't wake up with someone tearing your room apart like this.
But this is how it always looks, Vincent. What is it? Thomas. Thomas.
So Solomon's like, if somebody wasn't here, maybe they came in when you went down for your smoke at night.
Oh, maybe. It's quite possible.
What floor are we on?
You're on the 3rd floor.
So when you'd seen Mr. Mueller when he went down for his smoke, but you didn't see anyone else come in or leave,
No,
either before, during, or after?
No, I was at the desk all night, save for bathroom breaks. That's all boss man allows us, you know.
Is your establishment frequented by second story men?
Well, it is Boston. I mean, it's been known to happen. Just read the papers. But, but no, all I saw was one young lady went out with her man. I don't know where. And then Mr. Mueller, he went out for a smoke. It was real late, you know, but I'm a night owl myself, so no judgment there.
Oh, when you get to be my age, a complete soundless sleep is always very hard. You know, certain workings and whatnot.
Would you say that this young lady and her boyfriend had left before or after Mr. Mueller had went for a
Before.
smoke? Okay.
And they came back before.
Before he went out, or before he came back?
They left and came back before he went out for his smoke.
Would it be possible to try and inspect like the lock for any type of tool markings or even the window?
Yeah, that would require a skill check, though.
Like a spot hidden or...
We could do spot hidden. We'll do a combined one. Spot hidden and locksmith will work. For anybody that likes.
I don't have a locksmith, but I do have a spot hidden.
I give it a shot at this. It's combined
we
as in
ran-
both added together.
So you're just rolling against both of them, so you only have to succeed on one or the other
Oh, okay.
with one roll.
Spot hidden is 32 under 45. And do you want me to roll a locksmith too?
No, you just do one roll for both skills.
Yeah, so that way whichever one's higher, you can succeed.
Oh, okay. Okay. Do you want to do yours as well? Well, you might get a
Sure.
higher success.
10 under 60 for spot hidden.
Nice.
There you go.
And
So is that a
locksmith.
critical success or whatever it was?
That is under the 1/5.
Yeah.
The locksmith, it would have been 10 under 21.
Okay, so in that case, Ezekiel, you have, since you're somewhat trained in locksmith, you don't see anything unusual. You see the normal wear and tear from like key entry. In fact, if somebody had used a lockpick, they likely would have left some scuff or whatnot. And if that had happened, it happened a long time ago to where it just is faded and looks like wear and tear.
Okay.
If I go over and try the window, is it locked?
Normally it is. Did you?
Nah, because
You,
I'd probably let the night air in occasionally or air the room out
It
after
would
I
be
smoke.
unlocked.
It would be unlocked. Okay.
So, if anybody had opportunity, it would have been you.
Yes, I have a key to all of these rooms.
Exactly.
Nice.
You
Let's
saw
arrest this man.
you saw Johan go for a smoke,
Yes.
and you would have had the opportunity to come up here, open his door, and steal his book.
I suppose you're right, but I didn't. I can guarantee you I was at the desk all night, except for my bathroom breaks.
I believe you. But I'll just look at him.
With the unspoken for now in the air.
If you guys don't have anything else, or if you gentlemen don't have anything else, I'd like to go home and get some rest.
Well,
How is the fire escape on the bottom floor secured?
So just imagine like what you see in movies in that case.
Where it's just pulled
where
up?
They have a sliding one, or in this case, it's more like
One of the
they
drop
pull
down.
the bottom up and then it drops down.
If I look out there, is it pulled up?
It does. It is pulled up.
Is there anything close by someone could have used to gain the height to either make it to the first level or pull that down?
No, but you could imagine if somebody had a car, they
Probably.
could probably stand up on it.
I think you're onto something here, Vincent.
Well, at the very least, I think the manager of this establishment should know that something has gone missing from one of his guests' rooms in the night.
I agree. What you can do is you can file a description of the missing item with the desk clerk that's working now. His name is Humphrey.
Took you a little while to think up a name.
Why did it take you so long to think of his name? Do you truly work here?
He looked around. Humphrey.
I pull out my shotgun. I shoot.
You kill him.
Jeez, Vincent, that's cold
Yeah,
blooded.
so he says he can take the details of it, and we'll see what can be done about it.
I'm sure you would like to know all about the item you stole.
If you guys like, he could even phone the police for you.
Well,
Yeah, they're not going to care about a book.
yeah, I wouldn't go that far.
Well, I didn't want to say it out loud, but
None of them probably even know how to read.
Well, I appreciate your time, Solomon. Sorry for the shotgun.
have a good day. I hope you
I'd
find
like
your
to
book.
shake your hand, sir.
So you had the book in your book bag when you went to sleep?
I was keeping it there for that way in the morning I could do some transcription and have it sent to Arkham University.
Well, who all knew about the book other than us?
Finn?
Finn?
I don't trust him. You know how he never speaks? Very odd.
Well, where is he? Did he come with it?
Yeah, he's actually torn out
It's
another
true.
page, and he's drawn a fair sketch of the guy you were just talking to.
He's trying to
He's
pin
right
it on
there.
me.
I like the fact that I am accusing him when he's right there. Yeah, I'll look around. When did you get here?
Finn, did you see anything suspicious last night? Write it in your book if you need to.
Did
No.
didn't you send out a telegram?
It was late when we got back. I was going to save it for the morning.
Did anybody notice being followed from the church?
Well, you know the most important question to ask. Why would somebody steal that book?
Obviously, it's to protect some secrets. I say we burn that church to the ground.
At the very least, we
It's
need a
already
translation
bumped.
for the
Good
cover.
job. Mission accomplished.
We remember what it was? Ivor,
Well,
Liber Ivanus?
anybody with any training in Latin would know that that's book of something. That's the rest. You have Latin? Did you want to?
Yeah.
Latinize it.
We'll see.
Americanize this Latin.
56 over 21.
Okay. You don't know.
I don't know what this word is.
Well,
But can I at least remember the name?
Yeah.
So what is it? 'Cause,
Oh, sorry. I guess you can't remember.
like the Liber Ivanus or something? Is
Yeah,
that?
it's Ivonis, but it's actually in your guys' scrapbook. There's a handout with an image.
Well,
Scroll down in the facts and conjecture.
do you think that the library here might either have a copy or any information on that?
well, it couldn't hurt to check.
Well, I could attempt to find something.
Where else might have a maybe a like a
the
book dealer?
If there's a university
Antique
nearby.
book dealer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
University?
university.
Yeah.
But
Well, also, if we're not ready to report yet, we need to get some information back to
Didn't we find
Mr.
skeletons with this book?
yeah,
So I'm going to go notify the police that we found skeletons.
Mr. Dooley. Is that
Why
his
didn't
name?
I
No,
ever-
it was the
but
Oh, it's skeletons.
The
There.
D&D mentality.
Yeah.
You find a dead body. Like, who are you going to report to?
well, you if we're also going by like movie mentality, you can't report it because you'll be the suspicious one, even though
Right.
they like died several
I mean,
months
that
ago.
is something to consider.
Aren't they like?
They're way old. Dead.
Well,
But
I don't know that because I couldn't get down there, but I could probably like archaeology them.
Yeah.
Mr. Knott.
But it works similar in the sense that, I mean, just being the person who reported it, you're a person of interest, so they might
What were we doing?
will
We
be
were
for a while.
trespassing on the
But
churches.
you're a good Protestant.
Ah,
I didn't see any signs.
Liber Ivanis. That's the name of that book. I wrote it down.
Ah,
Yeah,
very good, Thompson?
Thompson.
American names. One's goes the other.
So how's he even going to remember where he put a book if he can't even remember a last name as easy as Thompson?
It's very true.
Okay, so
So let's make a plan then.
yeah, that's what I was just saying.
Yeah,
You guys
I was going
should
to say,
discuss
Mr.
what
Knott's
you know and what
expecting us to be done today, right?
He would
Or
like
tomorrow.
us to be done today.
Yeah, the renovators are supposed to start in the morning.
Yeah, so we should let him know that it's not going to be ready to renovate just yet.
Well,
Well,
I don't think that's true. I think we should go to the house.
I think we should too, but I
And then
have a, how do you say, sinking suspicion? The writing in the church linked to the cult was fresh.
Oh,
So,
right. Yeah, we saw the.
and I think there might have been someone at the library watching me. Did any of you notice anyone else watching you as you went about your...
no?
I didn't know.
But, anyway, we need to make a telegram to Al Knott, as Thompson suggests. But I think we should speed up our investigation.
yeah,
And I propose this, seeing as we are investigators, I suggest that we hold a seance. We're occult investigators, Brandon. It's sound.
Well, yeah, it is 1920. I think that's a good idea.
And that way, if there's any spooks or whatnot in the house, we can rise them up, ask them. If not, we know that the house is empty and safe for inhabitation.
let's do it.
Yeah, various topics of spiritualism do come up quite frequently at SEU meetings. Whether or not your character likes that particular mystery of life is up to you guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, they definitely come up a lot.
If I didn't make it clear, I don't believe in...
Were there
any
any
of that
prominent spiritualists that have been mentioned that
Oh.
live in the
I
Boston area?
I am quite adept. I have studied many various rituals. I think I can perform the seance.
You can do it?
Perhaps.
Let's go do it.
We don't have to kill any small animals or any people
No,
for this.
we
do
have to kill Finn.
Well, if we were to kill something, it would make the ritual more powerful, but no, we do not have to.
Okay. I don't want to kill anybody.
Vincent, good idea. I think you're onto something. Make sure Finn comes.
All right.
Where
so
is he?
We're doing the
He's
seance.
doing another
You,
sketch.
you hear
It's,
footfalls.
when he shows it to you, it's a cuckoo bird.
Draw one of us sacrificing
That is
you.
very good, Herr McCracken. It looks like one that was in my very house when I was young. Wonderful. You are quite talented.
He nods. His
I think
appreciation.
the boys got a couple screw looses in the head. No one will miss them.
All right, so the plan is to go to the house and perform a seance straight away.
Sacrifice Finn.
Is that
We
correct?
are going to need candles,
Oh.
possibly a mirror or a crystal of some sort. We will need something to shutter up the windows to make it as dark as possible. And in case we do summon something from beyond the grave, we will need sage, rosemary. Are any of you ordained? That would help.
No.
Do
No.
you happen to have any of these items, or do we got to go?
No. Why would I carry such?
Well, you're
Yeah, we gotta go shopping.
okay.
Pendulum
so
is also
sage,
a common way for the spirit to communicate
Um,
via yes/no answers.
Perhaps a
Crystal.
spectre slate, something that they can write on, a Ouija board. But I would be very careful if that was apparently.
All right, looking at your credit ratings, that
Well,
shopping trip should be no problem. So just take a moment to record those items that you need.
while you guys go shopping, I will go to the library, attempt to find the Liber Ivanis, a copy of it anyway, some sort of transcription.
I would like to tell Johann, and what I'm watching for is someone following him, but I'm not going to tell him about it.
Okay, so this would be an opposed roll if you want to. So you want to use your stealth.
Yes.
Do you want to roll it? Or...
All right, so Ezekiel and I will go shopping then.
No, you guys will be able to determine it.
All right, so spot hidden.
Yeah.
34 under 40.
49 under 50.
Okay, so in the case of a tie, the person with the higher skill rating wins, I believe. Let me double check that. Yeah, so whoever has the higher rating wins.
So I got
40.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I see him.
Okay,
I'll
unless...
just let him follow.
Hmm?
Oh, never mind.
Unless what? Oh, someone wants to push it?
Yeah, I'm not gonna prompt that anymore. So if you guys want to do that or spend your luck, that's on you to.
Is there a way to does he
I'm
know I
not-
spotted him or?
I'm not necessarily trying to hide from him. I just wasn't going to say anything to him so that he doesn't like look back at me all the time or something. And
Okay.
but my goal was just to see if I can spot anybody following him. Right.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I mean, you notice him. He didn't say anything about it, but he's back there, and he's presumably when you guys split up, they were going to go shopping, but he's
Perhaps he
following
is
your
worried about my safety.
Yeah.
Such a good young man.
Do you want me to do a spot hidden at all to see if I can notice somebody?
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
ask for a roll in just a sec.
So, like, on my way to the library, I basically stop and talk to anyone that,
On the way.
yeah. I kind of wander and meander.
And the rest of you are doing the shopping.
Yeah.
Yeah. And while we're shopping, I'll be asking questions about the bodies and the rituals and stuff.
If you can find exorcism incense, that would be most good.
And Finn's driving you guys around.
Okay.
For you two, you can catch public transportation.
Yeah, so what else stuff do we need for a seance?
Well, because none of us are ordained, if you could find holy water, some sort of blessed item like that, that might help. If not, rosemary, sage, star of anise, what was the other part? Cloves. They're all stuff that can be burned for purification purposes.
You got to get your lapis lazuli in there as well.
For officer's stone.
I just remember that being prominent in occult stuff.
But yeah, like a bunch of various herbs and incenses. There's a big old spirit bomb list that I read, but I can't remember most of it. It's like one part this. It goes on for like 15 ingredients.
So Joseph, no skill roll will actually be required. You see him talk to many people.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily in a familiar way, because most of them react like they've been accosted, or like half of them react like they've been accosted. But you know, you can't really make out what he's saying. But they're usually brief.
Do several of them react like that tobacconist? And so I get in a small shouting match on the corner.
One of them does have an extended conversation with you. He's also a chatty fellow. But that's what happens on the way to the library.
I'll regale him with some historical knowledge.
Do I notice, hanging back, do I notice anybody that's kept with us from the hotel to this point? No? Okay.
So that one fellow, where's my history? 4 under 70.
No, nice. Almost a critical. That's an
Oh.
extreme success.
I'm pretty sure, because isn't it like 14 is my extreme or my...
Extreme is its own thing. Critical is the top level, which is always just one.
Okay.
Yeah. Extreme is your fifth. So yeah, an extreme success. Yeah, he gets into a fascinating... What did you say the topic was again?
History.
Any particular part of it?
Maybe about the local area. Or no, that you said it wasn't for that. Let's go with, like maybe the French
Okay.
Revolution or something. Some
really is
random thing.
Yeah.
So he's quite well versed as well. He got a 6.
Perhaps it was something he was reading that sparked that.
So that's what you guys were talking about for quite a while.
No, I'll...
Maybe some French Revolution discussion.
Yeah.
The causes. That's quite a mire to get lost in.
Yeah, I'll shake his hand, introduce myself and all that stuff, probably midway point.
How many bodies did we find in that
2.
church?
2.
His name is Felix. Felix Devon.
And do we have any idea how recent those were? Were they skeletons? Were they,
Vincent got the closest look at him, and they had
in various signs of decay?
They were pretty old. I think in the flavor text, you could surmise that they had hidden down there when the church was destroyed, and there's tons of evidence that the church was burned. So likely they died down there.
Yeah, I'll inform Felix that I occasionally lecture at Arkham University, and he should come by. He'd be an amazing guest lecturer.
Yeah, he asked you to write down the address for him or something.
Yeah, like I think I have very neat scrawling kind of penmanship, so I'll do that for him real quick. And
Arkham, never been there myself.
oh, it is a wonderful university and city. You should definitely come down. I have a small little house. You can stay there if you do not wish to try to suffer the hotels and motels of the city.
Well, I have some relatives up Salem way, so if I head that way, that's halfway there.
Ah,
Stop
wonderful.
in.
Oh. I'll check my pocket watch. I must be going. I have to go to the library. My friends are waiting for me. Guten Tag. Or is it no? Auf Wiedersehen.
So it takes you about an hour with all your frequent chatting to, or I suppose some of these would have happened on the transportation, but still you stopped on the short walks from these depots to the library and whatnot, and you guys arrive at the central library.
So I'm gonna I'll meet with Johann for just a moment and let him know that I didn't see anybody follow him, but I'll keep an eye out while he investigates as well. And so I'll sit back at a table or up on an upper level in the library if possible, and just keep an eye on him and everybody around, just see if I could spot anybody looking at him.
You should have joined me and that young man in that conversation about the French Revolution. It was most fascinating. Why did you hang back? I saw you by that tree. There was a pretty young girl over there. You should have talked to her.
We're on the job.
Job? I am retired. What is this job?
We took a job from Mr. Knott.
$25. It does not matter. All right, very well. Do as you wish.
Library use roll.
All right, 59 over 40. I'm going to try to push it.
Okay. What's your justification for it?
Oh, no, I'm not going to push it. I was going to say, like, if it was something like I guess we are kind of really looking after it. There has to be some sort of hidden collection somewhere in the library, so I'm going to maybe start taking some of the books, like, in groups off the shelves and, like, knocking on walls. 87 over 40.
So you are promptly rejected from the library.
But I was simply attempting to rearrange them. Your decimal system is horrendous.
Could I step in to try and smooth this over?
Yeah. So the reason he was getting
It's because he's
kicked out
taking
is
all
'cause
the
it was
books
making
off
a little
the
bit
shelf.
of noise in an otherwise quiet area, and you come to. They're like,
Yeah.
Are you lost?
Yeah, my few tufts of hair are kind of like starting to look wild.
Are you lost, sir? Let me escort you outside.
I'm looking for the hidden area where you keep your most arcane tomes. I need to find the Libre Vanis.
Yeah.
I think maybe if we get some fresh air, we can figure this out together. And so they start walking, and
Yeah.
But you wouldn't have an opened air.
Would this be more persuade or fast talk? You think?
Persuade takes time, so this would be fast talk.
So fast talk.
Or you could use charm.
My fast talk's better.
Well, what exactly are you
So,
aiming for?
kind of eccentric professor, famous professor, right? I can't believe you haven't heard of him. Things like that.
About him?
Yeah.
Okay.
77 under or over 70. Yeah, I'll push it.
Okay, what's your justification? Or you could try your charm. You could change the roll to a different tactic. Or intimidate.
I can't really think of a reason for the push on the fast talk. Is it a guy or girl?
It's a guy.
How big is he? How old does he look?
Well, he's a librarian, so
Yeah.
he's not big, but he's seems to be in his mid-30s.
In the line of trying to fast talk him, I'll ask him if he had served in the war.
He says, no.
All right, so that's gonna be my, if I can, the reason for the push. Then
Some shaming
is yeah,
about treating like
exactly.
a war
Is
vet.
yeah, I'm a
Okay.
vet, and yeah,
Hold on, let me think of foreshadowing. Well, basically, you'll probably both be escorted out if you fail. So
okay,
go ahead and make your roll.
let's go.
Plus, he says something that like triggers John's character when he gets in a fist fight.
69 under 70.
Okay. All right. So yeah, he's like, oh,
By one, I succeeded.
He's like, oh, well, thank you for your service to our great country. If you could just keep an eye on him and keep him quiet.
Will do. There's no hard feelings about sitting that one out.
That's what we buy.
Okay.
I'll
And you have your own country.
Yeah.
And you guys are likely going to have some free time because library searching takes a little bit more time. So we'll pause on you and move over to Ezekiel and Vincent.
Can I step away for just a second?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
You guys are done buying.
Yeah.
You haven't seen Johann or Joseph
Okay.
yet. Is there anything else you guys wanted to do at that interim time?
Well,
Kind of want to try and get an expert on seances and ask him some questions.
Okay.
So try and find somebody that knows about this stuff and make sure we're doing it right.
yeah. Is there a seance shop?
Yeah, actually, when you ask the proprietor at the place that you buy your stuff, he actually is one because that's
Oh.
the spiritualism type things that he sells.
Oh,
And
okay.
his name is, he's lying about his name too, Lamar
What's the name of his shop?
Orion's Spiritual Goods.
Okay. Well, just on the off chance, I'll tell him about a book called Liber Ivanis and say, would that mean anything to you if you heard about it?
He says, no, it doesn't ring a bell.
Okay.
Oh, anyhow, and what specifically was your question to him?
Well, my questions are, so do we have everything we need here? And is there anything else we should have? And we don't have to kill anything for this, do we?
Oh, no, of course not.
I already said you don't have to kill something.
He's really fixated on that.
Did you?
It's part of his backstory.
Oh, okay.
No, this is a healing ceremony. It can provide closure to the bereaved, that sort of thing. Is that what you guys are performing a seance for? A lost loved one, perhaps?
Do you tell him where we're holding this?
Well, maybe for somebody who we're not quite sure how they died.
Well, and you know this person?
No.
Not really.
Well, to be clear, there's no danger involved, but things can get a little unsettling. So you should be prepared for that.
Okay.
If you have any success at all, often with no attachment to the deceased, they won't show up.
Okay. Now these things can they hurt us?
Oh, no, of course not.
Okay. All right. I feel better about this.
Well, we know that's not true.
Well, thank you, sir.
Yeah, have a good day. Tell your friends. Tell your children.
Oh, I don't have any children.
Oh, you
yet,
know
sir,
what I'll
but-
do? I'll say, have you ever heard of the Corbett House?
He definitely pauses at that. Yes, it has a nasty reputation in Boston.
Yeah. Well, we're here to sort it out.
Well, I wish
Tell
you the
your
best of luck.
friends.
I will. These two guys came in.
Out of town is.
But it does pique his curiosity. It's like, are you performing your seance there? Because people often look for hallowed ground or haunted places to do these.
Yeah, we're going to perform it there.
Maybe that's not the best idea.
Well, somebody's got to do it.
I've never personally experienced, and I don't know anybody who's experienced anything bad from these sorts of ceremonies. but there is a reputation of that house. People
Right.
going crazy. There could be some ill-tempered, unhappy spirit that resides there.
Yeah, that's why we're going to do a seance. See if there is.
Well, you seem new to it. Are you sure you're prepared?
We're with an expert.
What do we need to be prepared?
Extensive knowledge, a lifetime of knowledge.
Well,
Yeah, can
don't you
get-
have any kind of reliquary like this here cross that can protect us from these evil spirits?
Some spirits abhor the sight of holy symbols.
Okay. I'll keep my crucifix close then.
Well, one thing that I believe is clear is that I need to become a minister. Well, anyway, I'll thank him for his stuff, and then I don't know, what else do you want to do?
He says, "Good luck," and I'd very much like to hear how it turns out.
You will, one way or another. Well, it's everything that people say in
Right.
movies like this is ominous. So
So you guys are leaving, and he actually, as you come out the door, he comes out in sort of a rush, and he's like, I'm sorry, I can't let this opportunity pass. I don't think it'll be physically dangerous. It could be mentally dangerous, but I am curious about it. May I come and witness the seance with you guys? Or be a part of it? The more people, the more spirit energy can be harnessed to call the dead forth.
what do you think?
I feel a little bit safer with him there, but we should probably ask Johan.
Well, we have companions, and we'll see if they mind.
Okay.
If they don't mind, I don't mind.
Yeah, just see it. Just get a telegram to me.
Okay,
Tell me when it's going to happen,
okay, we will.
and I'll arrange my own transportation.
Good. You'll be hearing from us.
All right, Johan, you're already burnt on library use for the time frame allotted.
Yep.
But Joseph, if you wanted to give it a shot while you're there, perhaps Johan directs you to the reference area to see if you can find it there.
That do it. That's almost.
Is there only one librarian there?
There are a couple. Yeah.
Can I ask a different one if they have any books, any foreign books on the occult, possibly relating to the church, or if they have a copy of the Liber Ivanis?
Okay. Yeah, that'll be part of your. She can help you dig through the references.
43 over 20.
You don't find anything.
Okay.
All right, so that's roughly half a working day's amount of time spent searching.
Do not be downhearted, Joseph. This is a small library.
Should we try and contact a book collector or antique bookseller, something like that?
We could do it, yes, perhaps, but it wouldn't be pertinent to what we're doing now. I mean, we're all simply investigating the house. Perhaps in our off time, it might be an avenue we pursue.
Okay. Well, where were we meeting everybody?
I suggest we go to the house and wait for them if they are not there yet.
Yeah, I'd like to get a look around in there anyways. How would we get any type of messages? Are there any,
The most common is Telegram.
are there like telegram delivery services?
Well,
to
you'd go to the hotel,
move 'em
clerk,
to the
or you'd
house?
go at the library and arrange for a telegram to be
delivered
sent
at the house?
to an address of some kind.
Okay. So yeah, I'll leave instructions with whoever I'm supposed to at the library for that sort of business. That we're
Oh,
to have
going
any telegraphs forwarded to the.
Well, I'll save you guys the trouble. You were to do the errands, and then you would just adjourn briefly at the hotel,
Oh, okay.
and then go on to the house together.
So you want to go to the hotel then?
Oh, yeah.
So that's where we're supposed to meet? Okay. So, yeah, we'll go back to the hotel. I'm not going to follow behind while we travel back.
Okay.
I will try to cut any side conversations that he gets into short
All right. Well, you guys arrive just after lunch. Vincent and Ezekiel and Finn are probably enjoying lunch in the cafe when Johann and Joseph walk in. And you guys are all gathered there.
Yeah, I have procured all of the items that we should need.
All right.
And also, whilst purchasing from the gentleman at Orion's Spiritual Goods, he asked if he could take part with us in this seance.
Of course, one more warm body always helps in a seance.
Good. Then, if there are no objections, I'll send a telegram to him. When should we tell him that we're going to be performing this?
As soon as we can. I don't know if I would want to be in the house too late if there is anything, but perhaps around evening?
Well,
6?
I have it on good authority that the best time to do seances is between 12:30 and 1:30 a.m. I got that off of WikiHow on how to perform a seance.
Lamar told him that at Orion's.
Yes, this is true. Supposedly the veil gets weaker around those times, but...
Well, we don't really have time to wait that long.
Yeah, if the house is as bad as it's supposed to be, would you really want the veil to be that weak?
Right. Okay. So, what time is it now? It's like lunchtime?
Yeah, you guys had just finished, so it's pushing 1 o'clock.
So I'll tell him 4, you said? 4:30?
No, 6 is 5, something like that. Right around evening.
Yeah, so I'll have a telegram sent to him.
Okay.
Telling him the exact time that we plan to do it.
All right. The Corbett House. Ezekiel, this was the flavor text since you missed it last time. So this building is overshadowed by taller, newer office buildings on either side. The house fronts the street. In the rear are overgrown plantings and a half-collapsed door. Access to the rear exit exists on either side of the residence. Studying the house, the observer is impressed by the way the house seems to withdraw into the shadows cast by the flanking buildings, and how the blank curtained windows hide all understanding of what lies within. So you guys are assembled out there. Lamar arrived separately. You all got out of Finn's car.
One of our various cars.
Pushing the limit of. And you are looking at this house. Across the way, Mr. Dooley's standing outside smoking a cigar, and he gives a wave to each of you.
I'll return the wave.
I'll lower my eyes suspiciously.
But then he seems to return to whatever periodical he is reading.
Perhaps we could invite him.
I'll go over and purchase another pack of smokes.
Yeah, it's probably
Lucky
a good
Strikes.
idea.
Yeah.
I'll follow him and do the same. I will ask him if he's noticed anything odd or people hanging around the house or just within the last day or two.
Nothing out of the ordinary, just the usual. I lost this. Just the usual. A couple kids came up and they were daring one another. Go tie a ribbon on the door, that sort of thing.
Yeah, these damn kids.
But you come on in
Always.
here, get your cigarettes, get you rung up.
Yeah, that's what I'll do. And I'll tell him we're going to attempt to contact the spirits of the dead and the damned. If you want to join us.
No, thank you. You boys have the look like you're about ready to go over the top, if you know my meaning.
Okay, yeah, and then we'll go in. So we do the seance.
So
session
we
over.
succeeded in the seance is what Vincent means.
All right, so the front door is secured with a single lock, which Mr. Knott gave one of you the key. Who's volunteering to open the
I'll
lock.
take it.
I'll punch him.
You guys have to do an
I'll
opposed.
take the key from him. Yeah.
Well, if he really wants it, I'll give it to him. I mean,
So you turn that. Once inside, you see that there were 4 additional bolt locks that have been added on the inside. Okay, so this opens up into a long hallway, and this place is in a state of disrepair. Like all the floorboards creak when you walk in, and even the concussion of your footfalls causes something to rattle
Oh, most ominous.
in a room off to your right. Dust hangs in the air, catching the sunlight in this case. and there is electricity, but it's like after market. The house is older than that, so all the blinds and everything run on the walls and whatnot.
Oh, right.
And you can see a switch off to your left.
Is the electricity on right now?
No. Well, it's not.
Well, I mean, like if I
Is
turn
it
this,
hooked up?
flip the switch, or
Yeah.
click the button, do the lights come on?
Yeah, it flares brightly for a moment and then dims a little bit, and it's really uneven.
Does this have indoor plumbing yet?
You
Or-
have to investigate further. So, you looking down this hallway, off to your right, the double doors leading into what looks like a living room are open. At the end of the hallway, you can see the end of a banister to the stairs that would lead up to the second floor. And then you have 3 doors on the left side of the wall.
We split up.
I would kind of like to see the basement area,
Okay.
since this seems to be where that's originating from.
That's
Very
also
well.
where he was buried, wasn't it?
Yeah, it rumored to be buried.
Well, I'll check upstairs.
Not rumored. We have the journal, I believe.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
confirms it.
He says that he wants to, but we'll see.
When you flick the light switch on, you do see that there is some graffiti on the wall that states, "Don't let the black get to your head." And you hear a furtive movement beyond the door to your immediate left.
Squatters.
So
Oh.
don't let the black get to your head.
Yeah.
Did you guys hear that? I'll go open the door and look in.
All right, so this room is filled with boxes and junk, such as rusted water tanks and old bicycles. And a big rat scurries from the light in the hallway into a hole in the wall.
Oh, rats.
Beyond that, you do see a cupboard that has been boarded shut from the outside.
That's weird. Why would somebody board up a cupboard? Finn, go open that. I did bring a hammer, so I'll go
Right.
pry the.
It might be a smart idea to also brought an axe, just
Yeah.
in case we need to get out of here. This does look like a dilapidated death trap if ever there was one.
Finn is holding the stand and his camera, and
Oh.
he is setting up as soon as the graffiti was revealed, and
Okay.
he's planning a photo for it.
Okay.
So you went into the room and
Yeah, I'll pry open that cupboard.
okay.
It's silly to board up a cupboard.
So if you wish to explore around, do so. I will assist in blacking out these windows.
Okay. Did we bring lanterns?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll
And
take
there are
one
a
and
flashlight, although I think they call them electric torches in the time period.
all right. I'll take one of the electric torches and go and a lantern and go
They're just
investigate
not
the
as-
basement.
Bright as a lantern.
Yeah. So, well, I'm gonna. I figure I'd probably have that as more of a backup. Use the lantern.
All right, so
Um,
Joseph is going to the basement.
I'll go with him.
Finn's taking a picture. Vincent is getting into the cupboard, and you're going to go to an area to black out the windows.
Yeah, well, right around the living room. We're just gonna.
Okay, you're going to go into the
Is
living room.
Lamar here too?
Yeah,
Or wherever we are, like
right. Well, you're
The
in a
front.
hallway, right?
Okay.
There's no antechamber or anything. It goes directly into a hallway. But
All right.
that room with the double doors is the living room.
Okay. Yeah.
You're
So where Brandon went.
no, he went to his left. He went to
Okay.
a storage room.
So yeah, we'll go into the living room and hold it there then.
Okay. So we will start with Vincent, and you can get with a hammer. You can get those out, no problem. And when you open the cupboard, you see there are 3 old diaries inside, amongst old and moldering clothes.
So I'll pull out one of the diaries.
All right. So when you grab one of the diaries, you feel almost like a pinprick or a cut on your finger. But when you look at your finger, you don't see any broken skin. But you do see black lines that seem to be like tracing where your blood vessels would be. They very rapidly go from the tip of your index finger down to the first joint.
Was there anything like that in the war with the chemical stuff? Where you'd see, like, guys choking so much. You see the veins in their faces and necks.
Well, has anybody got medicine or first aid?
I do.
Any training will be fine. I mean, you know blood poisoning does a certain effect, but I believe Vincent is by himself.
Yeah. Well, I was just wondering if he had seen anything like that in the war and freak him out a bit.
What do you do, Vincent?
Well, I believe I'll panic and rush out to my companion.
Gun in my hand.
All right, so Finn
cut
is
it
the
off.
first one you see. He's still
Looks
setting
at
up
it.
his photograph.
Yeah,
Just a wisp of clouds.
I'll run up and show him my finger.
Okay. And he looks confused for a moment. And
The lines. Do you see the lines?
And
Useless. I'll run.
you feel a rising sensation, like a tingling in your forehead and temples. It's familiar to you. In fact, you felt it the night before. And it keeps rising and rising. And then the last thing you remember is getting the journal out of the cupboard. But there's a gap from that moment to being in the hallway looking at Finn. And now you see Finn's mouth like widening, and he's pointing at your finger.
I'll look at
And
my
he gets out his notebook and he's like, "Black lines in your finger," is what it says.
And do I see him?
You don't see anything this time.
What are you talking about? I don't see anything.
And then after a moment,
How did I get here?
you don't know. After a moment, though, you see him kind of waver, and then he kind of looks around like he doesn't know what has happened. But he does have on his notebook 2 words, or 4 words, black lines in 5 words. Sorry.
Okay, so I don't see it.
No.
Then I don't remember that I had seen it. Are you okay, Finn? Well, anyway,
He
I found...
scrawls under that. He's like, he writes creepy.
Right. Well, it's an old house. And I found this journal.
Okay. There were 3 of them.
Yeah. What's this one say?
So they're pretty extensive. It would take you several hours to go through them.
Okay.
A couple.
I'll just like scan a page and see what sort of content.
So they are written in English, although they're strangely phrased. And you can deduce that the person they belonged to was Walter Corbett, Esquire.
Okay.
And the early entries seem to have been written when he was an adolescent. And they often include tales of the day of how somebody wronged him and what he would like to do to them as a result. And these jump years, and occasionally you get like a year or so in, and he'll still go back to earlier entries and reference his dislike for that person that wronged him. All right, we'll pause with...
I'd just like to say in his defense that what I'm assuming like 1800s is when that
Right.
was written. There really wasn't anything to do other than to
Get
hold a
grudges.
grudge.
All right, we'll do Lamar and Johan. You guys go into the living room. And you did hear the conversation out there, such as it was. Lamar was kind of busy. Anyhow, the living room contains conventional furnishings. So you have a radio, couch, stuffed chairs, shelves laden with gewgaws, which is knickknacks in the parlance of the time. There's an unusual amount of crosses and images of the Virgin Mary and other Catholic artifacts.
Might be best to remove all those.
And this is actually joined with another room, which appears to be a dining room, where when you guys walk into it, you can actually see the display case of old china, like rattling.
Yeah, Rama, we should begin moving these furnitures out of the way so we can set up some sort of table and chairs in a circle, right? Is that
Yeah.
good enough for your professional opinion?
Yeah, we'll all need to be close enough to where we can touch each other.
Oh, yes, of course.
So go ahead and make an occult roll for me.
7 under 60.
All right, so I'm just gonna use that later.
I was really hoping I'd have to push it, which means there'd be some dire consequences if I fail. Accidentally unleash a gate of hell or something.
All right, Joseph and Ezekiel, you walk down the hallway. You pass total of 3 doors on your left, and on your right was the living room door, and then there's another or 2 more doors further on the right, and then the banister and the stairs leading up to the second floor. So it's your guess at which would be the basement door.
Oh, so we know which one's the living room. I will open the left door, or the
one that Vincent didn't go into.
Yeah.
So this appears to be a storage room of some kind. There's old furniture. It's mostly wood furniture, and it's just been thrown in there in a jumble, although you hear some furtive movements from within it.
Okay, so that's a storage room. So one of the doors Johan went through, that was the living room. This door is a storage room, and the third
They're in
one
the
is
living room.
Vincent. The one that Vincent went through.
I suppose it doesn't matter. Figure it out.
Okay, so we're in this hall.
So Vincent's in 1, Johan and Lamar are in 4, and you just checked 2.
Okay, so let's go over to the next one, the one right next to it.
All right, so this room, there's overcoats, galoshes, hats, and umbrellas. There's several bags of coal for the living room's freestanding stove, and this is where a side door is that leads outside the house.
What would you classify this room as?
You could call it the mud room.
Okay.
And you can see that door is secured with 3 bolts and 2 locks.
Okay. And then let's go across the way. Yeah, should be straight across.
So that's a conventional kitchen with icebox, wood-fed stove and oven, plus a meager larder. Some of the foodstuffs may be edible. There's a canned soup and meat, rice kernels, several pastas, and a few bottles of homemade wine. The produce, which is not spoiled, appears to have been eaten by something. An animal, you would think, by the spoor left behind, but you're not sure.
When was this last occupied?
1917, I believe.
So 3 years ago?
Yeah. This food doesn't look 3 years old rotten, though, right?
Sure, could be.
Okay. So, do we see this? Is this actually in the kitchen?
So that's when you open that door.
Is this back in the hallway?
Yeah, that's back in the hallway.
Okay.
So when you get to that door, you and Ezekiel, or I suppose everybody in the house, you actually hear something from upstairs. And that is a heavy sound hitting the floor, so it rattles the china in the kitchen or the dining room. Then a sickening sort of thud and a splash as though a bucket of paint was upended on the floor. And then finally a grating sound and further footsteps.
So there's a heavy, it's like something falling onto the floor. A heavy thud.
I'll start cautiously taking steps up the stairway.
Can we tell
'cause it's right
which
away.
direction those footsteps are moving?
From your position, it sounds like they're right above you.
Okay, and we're right across the hallway from where the banister goes up to the
Right.
or the stairway goes up.
It would be almost directly above you.
I'll draw my pistol.
But everybody who heard that actually make a sanity check for me.
How does that work again?
Gotta get under your sanity.
Under.
At or under.
10 under 80.
What'd you get, Chris?
99 over 60.
Okay, so this is only 1 point of sanity loss.
Okay.
And you will make an involuntary action. I was thinking of a loudly uttered German curse, but if you have something better, we can go with that. Vincent?
2 under 80, 79.
You gain sanity.
You're good. Did you have something?
Scheißen!
21 under 50.
Okay, so you're good.
10 under 80.
All right. And Lamar also curses, but in his native tongue, English. And he actually looks like frightened at the sound.
Yeah. So I'll pull out my
Finn screams soundlessly.
small pistol.
Okay.
'Cause, I figured with that one, since it's Italian made, could I say that I got it from the war?
Sure.
Okay. So I'll draw that and look over at Ezekiel, and
I think Ezekiel was quick to it, and he's already heading up the stairs.
how are you? All right. Yeah, I'll follow him then.
All right, Vincent and Johan, what did you want to do?
Well, I'm going to put down the journal and head upstairs with these guys.
Okay.
I'll stay where I am. I'll continue prepping.
Okay. All right, Ezekiel. So you go up, and like the lower floor, the stairs come out on a long hallway, as you can see on the map. And there are all those rooms. It looks like there are 4 rooms.
Okay.
So to
So,
come
I'll
out,
be
I think by
I'll be
over
calling
here.
out as I go up.
Hello?
Hello.
I think I'll turn to Lamar and I'll say, like, perhaps that is going to be an exciting time tonight.
Yeah, maybe.
Don't look so white. You're as white as a sheet, Lamar.
You do have windows on the right side, though, so there's some light streaming out up here.
Okay. But yeah, I'll be calling out. We're if you've been staying in the house, we just need you to leave. We're here for the guy that owns it. You can leave quietly. We don't want any trouble.
Make a intelligence roll for me.
63 over 50.
You're dumb.
All right, you're you have no idea which of these rooms that sound might have originated from, so it's your pick.
Okay. I'll just go to the first door that.
Okay. So this is a bathroom containing a sink, bathtub, and a water closet with an overhead tank. Towels and other possessions are still here, typical to a family of 4. And as you glance at the bathtub, you can see a brackish pool of water has collected in the bathtub, and it's fed by a faucet that's dripping slowly.
Okay. I'll see if I can stop it. Like, see if I can turn the handle a little bit farther to stop the dripping.
All right. Make a power roll.
33 under 50.
And what is your skill?
Or
Or your rating for power?
50.
Okay. So we'll come back to you. All right. Next up the stairs was Joseph. As you come up those stairs and you look off to your left, you can see that Ezekiel is in that room, but he's reached his hand into the bathtub and he's like feeling around in there.
Okay.
That's what I was doing.
And then he, at one point, he takes a handful of the water and he takes a drink of it. All right, Ezekiel, you come back to a moment later. You were going for the faucet, but now you have a foul taste in your mouth and your arm is wet up to the elbow.
Okay. I kind of shake my head and spit a couple times, try and get the taste out of my mouth. Is the water still dripping?
Yes.
I'll reach to try and turn it off again as I kind of try to get that taste out of my mouth.
All right, you can't seem to get the faucet to get any which way to stop the dripping.
Okay.
You can turn it on to where it's coming out fully, but it just never closes all the way. And then you see, as you wipe the grime and stuff off your arm, that there are black lines tracing the veins all the way up to your elbow.
Okay. I do have first aid. Can I?
Yeah, I do too.
What is your rating in it?
It's 50.
Yeah, your thought is blood poisoning.
Blood poisoning.
I mean, that's what it looks. It's not exactly that, but it looks similar because usually they're not as darkly black.
Okay. Do I know of any kind of treatment or anything for it?
First aid?
Yeah.
I don't know one off the top of my head, but you might with a roll.
Okay.
But as you're
Or sorry. Yeah, first aid is 50.
as you're thinking about that, though, you get a tingling in your forehead and your temples, and then the last thing you remember is going, or looking at wiping the grime off of your arm,
Okay.
and there are no black lines there, and you don't remember that happening.
Okay. I'll continue wiping the grime off and kind of start heading back out into the hallway.
Joseph, as he's looking confused, he's like wiping his arm. Maybe if you had a long sleeve shirt, you rolled it up to get the grime off or something. But you see these prominent black lines just tracing the major veins of his arm. They go all the way up to his elbow.
All right, I'll call him a sap. What are you doing drinking water like that?
I didn't drink any water.
I was shake my head and tell him maybe you should go back downstairs with the others.
No, we got to find who's up here. That's
So
why
at
we
that
came up
moment,
here.
Vincent comes up onto the second floor, and then you get that tingling sensation, and then you're like, "Wait, what was I saying to you?"
Okay. What are we standing around for? We gotta find the bum that's up here.
That's what I just said.
Well, let's go.
Make an intelligence roll.
$69 over 50.
So yeah, you would just have a 1 in 4 guess at which room that sound came from.
Okay.
Although you did feel like it was more on the side that you guys were standing, like downstairs above you.
So that would have been room 4?
3 or 4.
3 or 4? Let's go room 3.
All right, Vincent, you came up there. As you guys all progress down the hallway a little bit, you see there's some more graffiti on the wall. This one says, "I don't drink to black out. I drink to keep the blackout."
Okay, well, I'll call out then to Finn that there's more graffiti up here.
Okay.
Does that mean anything to me? I don't drink to black out. I drink to keep the blackout.
Well, here's what you know. Downstairs it says, "Don't let the black get to your head."
Right. That's right.
Finn, and some foolishness of his...
Yeah, he said he saw black lines.
Right.
Right, which I saw no evidence of.
I'm going to take a couple swigs off my old flask, actually. This is, it's a little too much.
All right.
Calm the nerves, you know?
So, Joseph is pointed towards one of the doors, saying he thought that the sound came from this one.
So I'll take a couple nips before I actually open that door.
All right. So it'll be Vincent, Joseph, Ezekiel, and then Vincent in the order. Vincent, as Ezekiel is rolling down his cuff, as it gets about halfway down his wrist, you see his hand covered in black lines, tracing the veins.
Wait, Ezekiel, let me see your hand.
Not you too.
Yeah, do you not see that?
Ezekiel, you don't see
I
that.
got some grime on my hands, but
Joseph, look at his hand. What do you see?
You don't see anything.
Well, he's a little dirty, but seems to be all right to me.
No, clearly there are black lines on his hand, running up his arm.
Yeah, it seems to be going up into his bicep is where it stops.
They're moving. Oh, okay.
You can't detect any movement, but they're above his elbow.
All the way up to his bicep. I'll hold the lantern.
Is this
really
conversation
slow.
echoing throughout?
Yeah.
I'll, can I take a closer look? Yeah, like grab his arm and like look around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing. If you wanted to pinpoint exact phrases that are being spoken, it would take a listen check.
But seeing that he's got his gun out, I'll tell him, you don't need a gun to get a bum out of the house. I can handle a bum.
This wino's still up there.
Smoking outside.
Take it for a ride.
Okay.
Well, I can
In
get him
character.
out of the house. You
Okay.
don't need to
Yeah.
hurt.
I'll
hurt
have
him.
Lamar keep working.
Okay. All right. So you get that tingling sensation again, and the last thing you remember was him taking a few nips from his flask before he heads into the room.
Okay.
But
So-
now, John, you see the black lines on Ezekiel up to his bicep.
So I don't know why I'm holding his hand.
No.
So was this while I was grabbing
Are
and
we doing a seance?
looking at
going
his arm?
Yeah.
Or okay. And I do remember what he just said, right?
Yeah.
As so I'll bring the lantern a bit closer and say, "Sorry, I doubted you, Vincent. I didn't see these before." And I'll like trace them with my finger.
I still can't see him, right?
No.
I'm going to yank my hand away
See what?
and hold it behind my back and say, it ain't right to be fooling on a boy just because I was late.
I think we need to get you to a duck, son.
What are you talking about?
All right, now you observe them fading back to their normal skin color. Like all at once, not like they fade down, but just the prominence fades to nothing.
It looks like it's going away, but you definitely want to get that checked out.
And then you stop right there because you feel a tingling in your forehead and temples, and you don't remember what you were just saying.
Okay. So,
Do we remember that we felt this
Yeah,
tingling
do-
or anything?
do I remember even the lapse that I was...
Yeah, you
Okay.
can definitely tell there's a lapse of time. You guys remember everything that another person said or did prior to seeing the black lines. So
Okay.
when Vincent was talking about them, you got that. But then he kind of was like shaking his head. And then you started talking about him, so you two got that. I suppose, Ezekiel, you got everything after originally seeing the black lines.
Yeah. And I think they're just playing a joke on me,
gonna-
trying to scare me.
Take a...
Another swig?
Yeah, I mean, my guy is a drunk, so... Even in Prohibition, yes.
Well, yeah.
But, yeah, I'll take a pretty big pull and offer it over to
Okay.
Ezekiel.
Ezekiel, yeah. And think better of it since... I know that he drank the water, right? Because I remember that. And offer it to Vincent instead.
Oh, thank you. It's prohibition. So I'll decline.
Okay. All right. Joseph, the door.
All right. I'll say that something definitely strange is happening here. As
I agree.
I haven't had a issue with remembering things like I have today, but I think the sound came from in here. I'll bring that pistol up and open the door.
Which one?
Yeah, and then pick the lantern up.
They're going into room
Room
three.
3.
All right, this is the
This
spare
room.
bedroom. When you open the door, you don't see anybody in there. You don't see any indication that anything has been spilled. There's a bed frame, the bare bed springs, a dresser. There's a window that overlooks the side of the Corbett property. It stands open, which might account for the grating sound you heard.
Is there dust in here?
Not enough to indicate the passage
Someone moving.
of something.
Okay.
But when you open the door, there's like this smell that just floods out at you. It's a singularly horrible smell. You can't even figure out how you would describe it.
Oh, great.
First one of those.
Oh, wretch.
Okay.
Do I have to? I'll pull out my handkerchief and cover my nose.
Okay. That does seem to help a little bit.
Okay.
Is this one of those smells that even if you breathe through your mouth, you can taste it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll...
it actually reminds you of both of you a time during the war coming up on an old battlefield that you actually smelled when you were days away from it,
Yeah, I'll...
where the corpses are just churned up in the earth from all the shelling, and they're just rotting over the months and years of a battleground that stayed in one area. That's what it reminds you guys of.
I'll take a cigarette and kind of wrap it up in my handkerchief and tie it up around my face.
Okay.
Covers the nose with the tobacco.
So you're the first to head in?
Yep.
All right. And you guys follow after?
Yeah.
I'm going to go to the next room.
So you stop. So you wave Vincent forward. You're like,
Yeah, like,
go ahead.
yeah.
And you'll head on to another room. All right. So you guys go into the room. What would you like to look at?
So there's a bed. There's bed
Dressers.
frame, dressers,
And the open window.
and the open window. When we were walking up to the house, did we see this window open from the outside? You want me to roll something?
You don't remember any of the windows being open.
Okay.
Because it's like 2 doors, and they open out.
Is this this faces the street and the cigar shops across,
No,
right?
no, this faces one of the apartment buildings on the side.
Do I see any windows looking out this way from the apartments?
Yeah, several.
Do I see anybody in those apartments?
Yeah, actually, you see a woman combing her hair in the eye-level apartment.
Can I look at the windows and see about how far up she is? She'd be
She's
second
on the
floor?
second story.
And kind of get an idea of which one? From, like, how far in?
You might be able to guess
Okay.
if you saw the layout, if you were in the apartment. Vincent, what did you want to look at?
So, just the room itself.
Okay.
He goes in and I go in,
Right.
and he's looking out the window,
Yeah, he goes over to the window and he's looking out. You actually,
and it's open,
yeah,
but it still smells this bad.
right.
All right. So what else is in the room?
The dressers or
Okay.
dresser.
All right.
It's a big wooden one with multiple drawers.
Okay, but nothing that would noticeably
Not unless it's hidden within.
in the dresser.
Yeah.
There's not a bed or chairs or.
There is a bed with bare springs.
Okay.
You can see through it. You don't see anything underneath the bed
All right.
through the frame and the springs.
Okay, I'll go inspect the dresser.
Okay. You open a drawer and there's a few candles in there, and they kind of roll back and forth
Okay.
as you open it. Vincent, you start seeing that woman she's like wearing a robe. She takes it down, and now you're getting a full-on shot of what you see there.
I'll like duck back around and a little embarrassed.
But then
Ooh.
you hear like a scuff outside, like maybe on the shingles or something.
All right. I'll turn to where Vincent is and kind of get his attention and point to the ear, point outside, and then I'll proceed out.
Like you're
gun
actually
at the
gonna
ready.
start crawling through the window.
Yeah, I'm gonna go through the window.
So he gets your attention. Go ahead and make a spot hidden roll for me. Just Joseph.
80 over 45. Can I try and push it? As my instincts from when I went down in the war kick in.
Sure.
Was,
But you know how push rolls can go.
yeah.
What do you need? You could burn luck if you're close.
My spot hidden was 45. I got 80, so I'd be 35 away.
Yeah, it's just I suppose in order you just have to get sort of in a precarious position.
Okay.
Okay.
63 over 45.
All right. So Vincent, you're going through this drawer. Those candles roll out, clink
Yeah.
against the inside of it, and he gets your attention as silently as he can. And as you look over, some motion catches your attention, and you see that bed lift up and then zoom at Joseph as he's crawling through the window.
Oh man.
Joseph, that bed strikes you, and you fly from the second story window down into the yard.
I guess,
Okay.
do I have an opportunity to try and get in its way or grab him or anything like that? Is it just too quick?
It was pretty quick.
Okay.
If you succeed at an extreme dexterity, I will allow some
It's
interference.
okay. He has alcohol in him. We have personal experience that falling from a second-story window
Yeah.
to the ground with alcohol in your system
Does he
does
have
no
enough?
harm.
I don't know. I don't know if I have enough or not.
Well, I'll
That's
try
true.
it.
We had a lot.
Yeah, could hurt.
Extreme.
With the regular roll, you're probably not going to get hurt. It's only when you push something that things get worse.
No.
So yeah, it was just too quick. It was propelled at great speed. It slams flush with the window, and Joseph disappears behind it. It hits it, clanks back down. There's a bunch of racket for the rest of you, so Ezekiel, you hear all that. You go flying out the window. You collide with the ground. Roll 1d6.
One.
Add
didn't
2 to
hurt.
that. You take 3 damage.
All right, so
Now
I'll
roll a further 1d6.
6.
You take 6 damage.
Okay.
All right, so you are on the ground, dazed. I need a Constitution check from you. Johann, you see who you think is Joseph come sailing off the side of the building. Or if you don't happen to be standing in it, you definitely hear it.
Yeah.
19 under 60.
Okay, so you retain consciousness.
Is there like any trees in the yard?
Yeah.
It was in a
Yeah,
plane.
so I'd be
where it
standing
crashed.
near
Or just
like a
falling
tree,
in.
like how leaning up against it, smoking, looking at the house.
Okay. So you definitely see him, but then he's obscured, and you hear the thud as he hits the ground.
What's the likelihood that I fired off a shot when I hit?
You didn't fumble.
No, that wouldn't have been a bad idea for the pushing the roll and failing. But so you're kind of taking stock, like you have a momentary amnesia of just like what happened, like what hit me, what is going on. So roll a 1d20 for me, and tick the major wound box by your hit points.
Yeah,
I got an 18.
I'll start walking over to him.
All right, so you're patting around, getting a sense of everything. You're trying to do it with both hands, but for some reason you feel grass in your left hand instead of where you're trying to send it. And when you look over at your arm, it's bending out at an extreme angle.
I'll, with my teeth, kind of open that flask and take a pretty long...
All right, sanity roll from Vincent.
all right.
No.
3 under 79.
So
Good
you
thing
only
I'm
lose 1.
right-handed.
And this is from seeing the bed propel of its own volition. It just didn't quite enter into your worldview at that point,
Yeah,
that such a thing could happen.
yeah, that makes sense.
All right.
It's a good way to describe it.
Yeah, I'll walk over to Joseph.
Okay.
Yeah, Thomas. Thompson?
Yeah.
What were you doing? Thinking you could just jump out the... Oh, let me help you with that. I'll take your flask from you and pour some in your mouth.
I'll say that...
I think it's broken.
I heard... just kind of jumping around, heard something in the bedroom. It was out on the roof.
Oh, you are probably addled from your fall. I think I should go with you to the hospital. First, we must find a way to get you there.
Can I do a first aid to direct Johann how to set a broken bone and splint it?
That would be more difficult than normal, but it is
Okay.
possible.
We'll give it a shot
Say
before we roll
we
out
need a-
to the hospital.
First aid's 30%.
A hard success if you're going to direct them
Okay.
from you, but you have a 30%.
Well, it's the base, yeah.
Yeah. 52 over, 25 would be for that?
Thompson, I don't think you are thinking clearly. We should get you to the hospital. The Lamar and the other two can perform the seance
Ezekiel,
without
what
me.
do you do? You heard the crash as you were continuing down the hallway.
Did I hear any kind of? Did you scream or?
Silent.
Okay, I'm gonna assume that they're moving something around in the room.
It sounded,
Yeah, you
it
heard
sounded distinctly different from
Yeah.
something being moved.
something very large probably slam into the wall and then slam down, and then you probably heard the thud outside.
You also hear loud
And-
footsteps banging up the stairs,
Yeah.
but they resolve themselves into Finn.
Okay,
And he gives you a questioning look.
I'll kind of shrug my shoulders and I'm gonna continue on to the next door.
Okay.
Nobody's calling for help. Nobody's saying.
Well,
anything,
I haven't
so-
had a chance to.
Right, Vincent. You're
Yeah.
next.
Well, obviously, I'll scream at the top of my lungs.
Okay, that'll draw me into the room.
Jumping Joseph!
But yeah,
And I
I'll
will-
go and cover my nose.
I'll, what was your guy's name again?
Joseph.
Joseph. Joseph flew out the window. I'll scream at the top of my lungs and dart down the stairs outside.
Okay.
So go find. Yeah. I won't be quiet about it.
I figure for him, he's pretty intent on finding whatever's there, and then all of a sudden he's just falling, so there's really no time, right? And then as soon as he figures out that he's on the ground, it's more like, what the hell happened? Am I all right?
It might actually be realistic for you to wonder if I pushed you out the window.
Yeah, that's about what I was gonna. Okay, so I can try and set this then.
Well, you failed. Your first aid.
He failed to. Yeah, I guess he failed.
I was
to try and get me to do it, but
Yeah, I don't think you could perform it on yourself. Actually, not.
Do you want to give it a shot?
I can. Oh.
I can try to make you comfortable.
I can try, Herr Thompson. But if you really wish it, but perhaps one of our companions has the skill more so than I. But
First aid.
I definitely think you should head to the hospital.
Yeah, he's got it.
This is,
So Vincent, you started running down the stairs.
Yeah.
Oh, did you tell me that he pushed you?
yeah, I told you that son of a gun, he pushed me.
All right.
So Finn was walking past you, appears in the room. He's like looking around for some explanation. Ezekiel, were you going to follow Vincent?
No, I'll go with Finn to kind of look in the room to see what's going on.
Okay. All right, so Vincent, you get down the stairs, and as you're going down that hallway to the door, the front door, you notice a bright red stain on the ceiling. And then just as you look up, a drop of blood falls and hits your arm. You figure that that's underneath the bedroom you were just in upstairs.
Okay.
For you guys, you see like blood start to seep out of the crack in the floorboards.
Well, not
And
him.
it's just kind of rolling
Well, they're
down.
outside.
Like on the porch, or
Or sorry, you were with Finn? Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, not you, Joseph.
Okay.
So Ezekiel and Finn, you guys see it start coming out from between two of the floorboards, and it's just kind of rolling down the crack where it hits like a little divot and then forms a pool, and just slowly spreading out from there. Sanity. Yours, not so much. It was just a drop of blood.
Right.
62 over 50.
Your sanity's only 50.
That's what my power was.
Oh.
All right, so you lose 1d2 sanity, Ezekiel.
Okay.
So
So,
d4.
Yeah, odd is 2, even 1.
Okay.
So 2.
All right. So mark that on your track. And are you holding anything in your hands?
No.
Okay. So yeah, you cry out. Just a loud scream.
Okay.
And Finn kind of jolts, and his hand like slaps you, and he takes like an involuntary step back.
Yeah,
kinda
I'll do
pushes
the
you
same
back.
thing. We'll both step against the wall on the opposite side of the room.
But it just keeps pooling. Vincent, what did you make of the drop? What did you want to
Well,
do? You do hear a shout
Yeah.
shortly after it hits your arm.
Well, honestly, I'm not gonna think anything.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna keep going because
Alright.
he very well could be dead from that fall. So
Johan, if you're out there, are you going to stay with him?
Yeah.
Or were you going to go get somebody? Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna try to see if I can help him up and maybe start trying to get him over to a vehicle, or maybe
Yeah, you can definitely help
hail
him
a
out.
taxi or something.
I'll tell
Jolts
him.
are pretty rough, though.
Yeah, I'll tell
If you-
Johan that you got to take me to my car.
All right.
'Cause I'd driven to the house from the hotel.
Can anyone drive a car in this, or do you actually need the pilot skill?
Well, you have a base in the drive auto that's pretty high.
I
but
do.
just driving to
Ah, there it is.
Uh,
It's not that high.
a place is, you can do it.
It's
it
for
would-
like accidents and stuff. Okay.
So yeah, Vincent, make a spot hidden check before you go out the door.
83 over 45.
Okay. So you go out the door. You've got him up, and you're trying to work towards the front of the house, and you see Vincent come tearing around the corner.
I'll drop my cane and reach for my gun
Okay.
if he's like coming like a bat out of hell.
And you see them. He's got...
Oh, thank God. Joseph, are you okay?
You can see he's not, because his arm is...
Oh, your arm is busted.
Step back, Herr Newell. Apparently you are not of your right mind.
I'm gonna
No, what are
say,
you
come to
talking
finish
about?
the job, huh?
No,
No, it wasn't me. The bed.
of course it was. But I am going to take him to the hospital.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
All right.
well, good.
If you wish, you can stay here and perform the seance with,
Hold on, just a second.
but for our safety and yours, Newell, please, stay back.
No, listen, you gotta listen. It wasn't me. The bed popped up off of the floor and just shot right over and hit him.
What is it?
Psychology can be used to determine if
I
somebody's
do
dead.
have psychology.
I swear to God. I've never seen anything
So how
like
does
it.
the luck work?
So you spend your luck on a 1-to-1 basis, and it reduces your roll to that needed to make a success. So you rolled a 97?
Yeah, 97
Don't
over
spend.
60. Yeah. So,
You guys just can't tell. He seems earnest enough, though. I mean, his whole demeanor throughout the whole thing
Yeah.
has been pretty...
Yeah, like my
Straight
finger's
shooting.
not on the trigger.
Right.
Yeah, but I'll be like, that is very much quite possible, Newell. But for now, just remain your distance. I will take Herr Thompson to the doctor, and I
Okay.
will be back as soon as I can. If
All right.
you guys wish, perform the seance. I'll be back.
Ezekiel, as you guys are you took those steps back. Finn's he's giving you a frightened look, but then his face goes blank. His eyes roll up to the whites. He opens his mouth, and then without moving his lips, a voice issues forth, and it says, "Perhaps you should leave. Perhaps you should leave. Perhaps you should leave."
knew he was faking it.
But his lips don't move. It just comes from the open maw of his mouth.
Is he missing his tongue?
No, it's there.
Oh.
Would it be fitting for me to piss myself at this point?
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I'm going to do.
All right.
And just stand there frozen in complete fear.
Okay, a moment later, his eyes flutter and the pupils roll back forward, and he's looking at you with a questioning look.
I'm not going to be able to respond to him at all in any way, shape, or form. Just kind of sit there shaking.
All right, back to you guys.
As he looks disgusted once he realizes that you pissed yourself too.
You do hear a vague shout from within the house, but you don't understand the words.
Right.
As, I'll
Well, look, there's something really wrong in this house. Really wrong. And I'll turn around and run back inside.
I have noticed nothing. I was just having Roma move the furniture around.
No, you don't understand. This is a really actual haunted house.
Hogwash, as you Americans would say.
I'll punch.
As I'll say again that I'll be fine if you just get me to my car. As
Sit, take a few more nips.
I got a bottle in there.
All right, so Johan, are you going to carry him or help him the rest of the way to the car?
Yeah. Yeah, and
When we get there, I'll pop open the glove box and
no, I'll
just,
tell him to get in. We're like, I'm going to try to get him to the hospital.
How do you respond to that?
Well, the goal right now for him is alcohol is going to numb this.
So you just need a minute?
Yeah, just need a minute.
Okay.
So just give me a minute, Professor, and he said I'll pop
It's in
that
a
open
state
and
with the jostles and stuff of moving over here that a bumpy 1920s car
Yeah.
ride is going to be a little bit
it's
painful.
going to be
Did
hell.
I notice any of the black veins on any of them?
No, you haven't seen any of that.
Yeah, so I'll take a pretty long pull from it, and
And where in the house are you going, Vincent?
Well, now I want to look at that blood stain I saw on the ceiling in
Okay.
the hallway.
It has expanded, and it's dripping 3, 4, 5 drops a second.
Okay.
So you probably notice him pissing himself.
We're upstairs.
Dude, I thought you guys made it downstairs.
No, we were
Oh.
we were upstairs, just across the hallway from the room you guys were in.
Although on that note, Finn is like tugging at your arm
Which direction is he trying to make us go?
towards the stairs down.
I'm gonna be kind like, is the blood actually coming towards
Yeah.
us?
It's rolled out of its little pool, and it keeps coming closer and closer to the door jamb.
Okay, I'm gonna take a few more seconds to kind of gather myself before I start kind of shambling towards the stairs in that dazed
Okay.
kind of demeanor where I'm not really in full control of my senses.
Okay. All right, Vincent.
Yeah, so I'll run up the stairs.
All right, so you meet Finn and Ezekiel as they're starting to head down. The trousers that Ezekiel is wearing are darkened in a way that gives you the idea that he urinated in his
You've
pants.
seen men in the trench piss themselves before, I'm sure.
Fellas, there's a blood stain on the ceiling.
And I'll kind of wave it on. Like, there's lots of blood.
This house.
There's lots of...
Yeah, just in that kind of dazed.
Right.
No one's really home, kind of.
All right. Well, let's retreat to the living room where
Lamar,
Lamar is.
which
Okay.
curiously you have not heard anything from, nor has he come to investigate all the strange noises.
All right.
So I'm gonna tell Johan. I don't think it's wise to leave them in the house with him. 'Cause, me and him have been trained to kill, and I don't think those guys will last a minute alone. As soon as you take me to the hospital, we're gonna come back and there's gonna be nothing left of them. I'll take another. I'm pretty toasted at this point because the bottle's probably almost gone at this point.
Perhaps we could see if Herr, what's his name? The tobacconist?
Oh, Mr. Dooley.
Dooley would perhaps go in there and or drive you. maybe?
Yeah, let's see if he'll take me to the hospital, and you watch him. Watch him.
I don't know what you think I could do if you are worried about the others not being able to defend themselves against him. I am a simple historian.
If he makes a move, you plug him.
Plug him?
That's all
Was ist das?
her.
Shoot him, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if it should ever come to that. Yeah. But, yes, I will go talk to Dooley. So I'll...
Head across the street.
Well, first I gotta get my cane, but yeah, then I'll...
All right. Vincent, Ezekiel, heading into the living room. You guys, at a brisk pace, walk down the stairs, down the hallway, into the living room, where you see Lamar, who has this entire time since Johan left, been scribing on the wall, "The black is in, the black is in, the black is in."
That's why I wanted to
And he
come.
turns to you and he says, "The black is in." And then he kind of has like a moment, and he looks down at the piece of charcoal he's been using, and then he looks at you guys with a perplexed look, and then he looks at everything on the wall with an even more perplexed look.
What are you writing? What does that mean?
I don't know.
The other graffiti mentions the black. What does it mean?
I don't know. Johan just left a second ago. I don't even know how this is possible.
Well, it wasn't a second ago, and
Yeah, I was standing over there by the table.
Perhaps we should get out.
well, how long do you think it would take you to write all this? It was more than a second. This house is seriously haunted. There's a blood stain in the floor, and a bed knocked Joseph out the window.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's real. We gotta go.
We gotta go. I agree. We gotta get out of here.
All right, so I'll lead the charge out into the outside.
All right. The bell chimes as you enter Mr. Dooley's fine cigars and other lesser tobaccos, such as pipe tobacco, and periodicals. No, I'm just kidding. And And he looks up at you with the beginning of the customer service face, but then it's a slight downturn when he realizes who it is.
Oh, side note, I would have put my gun away.
Oh, okay.
Help us.
And he's like, what can I do for you?
I'll blow out a thick plume of English, like shag tobacco smoke. And we, as you probably know, went into the Corbett house. My friend and your acquaintance, Thompson, took a spear from the window. He needs a ride to the hospital. He is waiting in his car. Perhaps you can do it? Or, yeah, that's where I'll stop.
Anything to help out a fellow vet. But how did he break his arm in a house like that?
I never said he broke his arm.
Sorry, that was keeper
I'll pull
knowledge,
my
sorry.
gun.
How did he have to spill out the second story window?
He says that our other companion, Herr Newell, pushed him, but Newell claims the bed flew across the room. So, I don't know. Perhaps some sort of psychosis is truly like a miasma pervades the house.
All right. I'll do it. Let me close up. I'd say you boys got off light this time, maybe.
Perhaps. We're sussy.
It takes him a few minutes to put his stuff down, grab a fresh cigar, lock the door, and he follows you across the street.
Yeah. I'll make my way at my 4
Okay.
movement. The house is truly an oddity, a most oppressive atmosphere, but I saw no signs of any malevolent forces or some such. You Americans and your odd superstitions. Such a backwards, unintelligent, unenlightened people.
Now, hun, I didn't say I thought the house was haunted. I told you guys that it's haunted the way people are haunted. Bad things happen there.
Oh, perhaps.
And now you're approaching Joseph, and he's like, what did you go and do, boy? Oh,
Yeah, I'm.
sweet.
I
Jesus.
finished that
Look
bottle.
At your arm. It's
I'm
going
pretty
the wrong
lit.
way.
Say that
Another fault of Americans, so
Can't-
fragile.
can't believe that Vincent would go and do this to me. Attack a man when he's got his back turned to you.
Now, Al Thompson, he said it was nothing, that he didn't do it. I don't believe the bed flew across the room, but you can't just go accusing him. Did you see him?
That's all I hear when you talk.
Last I heard that you had
Is the
gone up.
sound of my friends dying.
I was not in the war. I was over on the Dark Continent.
At that moment, Vincent, Ezekiel, Finn, and Lamar come piling out of the front door of the Corbett house in a hurry.
The black is in. The black is in.
You can see that Ezekiel has pissed his pants.
Most uncivilized. There are places for... what's your last name, Justin?
Smith.
Smith. Oh, what happened to you? You're in disarray.
There was a blood pool, and then
Oh.
Finn talked in a voice that wasn't his, and it yelled at me.
The boy is dumb. He cannot speak.
I'm telling you, this is a haunted house. Has the Society for stuff that we're involved in has this really happened before? Or
There have definitely been accounts,
has there? Okay.
but you're reading a written account, maybe seeing a blurry photograph that could just be a curtain that was
Right.
caught in the exposure to look faint.
I can see that we are all shaken. Let's just call it off. We'll each make our reports, but we need to get Herr Thompson to the hospital.
I'll say to Dooley that can you get me to the doc, get me patched up.
Yeah, the rest of you boys get on to where you came from. This is a real shame.
I came from Idaho.
I want to ask Johan, and like my senses are starting to recover now that I'm out of the house. I want to ask Johan and Lamar to come with me to see the blood pool.
In the house.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think you guys should go in. I'll go with them.
Lamar's like, I thought we decided we were leaving.
I have to see if I really saw what I saw.
Well,
I don't.
At the very
I don't know.
least,
I don't want to go back in there, but I need to go back.
Maybe this is a bad idea, but Vincent, you said you will go.
I will. Yeah.
What about you, Johan?
Yeah, Johan needs to go. You need to go. You need to see. You need to
All
see
right,
that this place
fine,
is...
fine. We will settle it.
Okay.
Show me this blood stain. Hopefully you have not killed a bomb. I heard no gunshots, but if you have killed some poor vagrant hobo, you so young to be so lost. Let's go.
You all going back in that house is a bad idea. That's Mr. Dooley. But he's,
Auf Wiedersehen, Mr. Dooley. Get off companion to the hospital.
but yeah, he has to retreat for a minute unless Finn's gonna let him take the car. Finn's kind of standing there like,
I have
Like-
my.
oh, you got yours?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, he'll drive you. Says, I ain't much good at setting broken bones, but if you want me to give that a shot, might be a whole lot easier on the ride there.
Yeah, I'll gladly take some aid from a fellow soldier, American. Is that crazy, hun? Lucky you were here, 'cause he probably would have started cutting pieces of me up.
So he starts examining it, and he's like, so you're over there, where'd you serve?
It's mainly, probably
You don't have to give a specific answer.
somewhere in France, obviously.
So when he gets you into reminiscing a little bit, like when you're in mid-sentence, that's when he sets it.
All right.
Which hurts very badly, and he puts a splint on it. It takes a few minutes, but you get a hit point back.
Nice. Yeah, it's when I've recovered from that a little bit, I'll tell him about the plane crash, and that's why I limp
Okay.
as well.
So Finn seems to arrive at a decision, and he decides to group up with the people going back into the house.
Sure.
So that is Johan, Vincent, Ezekiel, Finn, Lamar's out.
Okay.
Okay? There's Finn the Kraken.
Oh, nice. You're
You may run him while
Okay.
he's... So Finn is a valet butler / butler for Rupert Merriweather. And he attends SEU investigations or meetings when Rupert is unable to. In this case, it's not like a spy thing or anything like that. Rupert was just curious about the case, and so that's why...
He acts like a not a surrogate, like
surrogate
okay.
eyes and ears.
Okay.
Because as he told you, his father said that God made us with 2 eyes, 2 ears, and 1 mouth, and to use them in proportion. But most people act like they got 1,000 mouths. And he says, in your case, you're the perfect investigator because you have no mouth.
Okay.
Functioning. That shotgun of his, I think he has a shotgun, is currently in the trunk of his Talbot.
Yeah,
And you have the camera and stand.
I think the camera and the stand will probably be more use.
That's kind of the main way in which you relay this information back to Rupert.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I do want to take some shots of the blood stain, though.
Okay.
Also, can I get a photo of them as they're talking before they go in too? Just try and capture the mood of it.
Yeah, he'd have to start it early because it does take a few minutes. Although you have enough light out here that you don't have to
Use the flash.
use the flash.
I guess if I could even maybe get a shot of Joseph with the broken arm or the mangled arm too.
Yeah, it'll be you sitting there with your arm. Would be normally crooked like this, but it's kind of going out.
Yeah.
And you're well, we'll say
he
catches you without the flask.
Yeah. Smoking a cigarette
Yeah.
and
Johan.
Oh, I'll be kind of like pointing like I'm threatening or just gesticulating with my cane, at someone like
Mr. Dooley
Mr.
has
Dooley.
his cap in his hands, and he's kind of like ringing it with the cigar sticking out of the corner of his mouth, and both the tension in Vincent's and Ezekiel's face make it into the photo. And the outright terror in Lamar's face is evident as well. All right, back in the house. Everything is as you left it. Looking into the living room, you can see that the black is still been inscribed there. And you can see that the blood pool or seeping from the ceiling is still there.
See, I told you.
Yep. There we have our answer. Then there was blood.
Well,
It started underneath the floor upstairs.
there's something going
Here,
on.
I'll show you where it
upstairs.
is.
Perhaps there's a dead animal somewhere in the house. That's
So
easily
you start-
explainable.
Setting up for your photo.
Yeah, I'm going to take a shot of them near the blood stain if I can, or as much of that in it.
Takes a little bit because you
also
set
wanna
your
get-
stand down.
Yeah.
You get the camera on it, and then you don't have like a flash bulb yet. It's actually a powder that you use that you ignite when you time
Okay.
using the camera. So you're working on all that. What else did you? wanna do
The new writing that's on the wall.
okay, in the living room.
Yeah.
Which one are you going to do first?
I want to get the blood stain first, and then I'll do the living room.
All right. So as you guys are discussing the nature of this blood stain,
Could I start the seance now as we're standing in the hallway?
you could.
Might as well. Yeah, I'll wrap my cane on the floor
Okay.
and I'll say, "What is it? Herr Corbett, make thyself known."
There's a response. And for those of you, I suppose that's everybody that heard it earlier, that earlier sound that drew you to the second floor, it's coming from about the same location. So after you rap and make your statement, you get a rap, 3 raps, and then you get the sound of something heavy hitting the floor, and then the methodical sound, almost like a fist hitting flesh, just over and over and over again.
It appears we have an answer. Any questions we should ask it?
Well, you should go up and see what that sound is.
You are free to go up and investigate. I have my answer.
Is this what?
He's gonna write that out to you, and as a reason for the blood being there.
Oh, it wasn't in the same spot. And that much blood, it's enough for. That's definitely more than one person.
Yes.
What it would take to create that much blood, right?
Herr Corbett, is there anything you wish to communicate to us, the living?
So have you drawn them into a circle? Because the premise is that when you're connected, there's more energy from each being to perform this seance. Or is it just you speaking at the
We
moment?
want to do this seance, or
Yeah, if after the rap, after I did the first one, if I'll motion them around,
Yeah.
if they want to.
Frightening, kind of like, oh, if everybody else is going, I better. Right.
So if that fist hitting flesh sound continues, it pauses every now and then, but then it'll start up again as you guys form up your seance circle.
I'm going to have Vincent stand between me and Finn.
Okay. All right. Let's get a luck roll from everybody that's in the circle. I don't know if you're able to do it though, Finn, if you wanted to keep your picture going. It's still happening pretty rapidly. Well, you could take the first one. You
I
just
got the
wouldn't be
blood,
able-
right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I can get the words later.
Okay.
As once I start hearing like him talking and the responses, I'm gonna go join the circle because everybody knows if you're not in the circle, you have 0 protection. That's common myth, right?
Right.
Yeah. 16 under 60.
14 under
Sorry.
40.
53 under 60.
Nice. 94 over 40.
Okay. So, Ezekiel, this is very familiar to you. You see Johan's eyes roll up into the back of his head, and then his mouth just open, and then without the mouth moving or the lips moving, a voice issues forth. And sorry, could you restate what you had said?
Is there anything you wish to communicate to the living, to us, the living?
Perhaps you should leave. Perhaps you should leave. Perhaps you should leave. And then you come to with no memory of that.
And I'll say, that's exactly what Finn did earlier.
Exactly what?
You were possessed.
Oh,
Hmm.
your eyes went back in your head.
I have no memory of this nonsense. And I have no answer to my question.
We do.
It said perhaps we should leave.
Then perhaps we should.
Oh, I didn't record it on there yet, but he also has artists as craft art at 50.
I do not believe that there are ghosts or that there are spirits here, but there is possibly some sort of miasma in the air that is causing perhaps hallucinations, memory loss. These are all symptoms of perhaps some sort of poisoning.
No. No. It's haunted.
Vincent,
Poisoning doesn't cause a bed to levitate in the air and knock someone out a window.
But it does cause hallucinations that may think you saw a bed
Well, do you think
levitate.
Do you think his arm
You are
hallucinated
acting-
being broken?
You
Do
are
you think he
acting.
hallucinated flying out the
You are
window?
acting most erratic, Ernoob.
Yeah.
you see a black line tracing up Ezekiel's neck.
Look at the line. Look at the line.
Finn and Johan, you don't see it.
See, more of these hallucinations. But I do think that we should leave this place.
It's in a position that you can't really see,
Yeah, I'll still be like, what? What's on my neck?
but you do remember the allegations earlier of your arm being traced
Yeah.
with black lines. So you check it again, you don't see anything.
If there
Okay.
is something in the air here, perhaps it is a faulty pipeline, and we are suffering some sort of monoxide poisoning or something. We need to get out of the house. It is not safe. It is hazardous. Simple as that.
Okay. Well, that part's true. So let's get out of here.
And we must make a truthful report and only, speak of what we actually saw and can confirm.
So I'll get the picture of the words
Okay.
while they're talking about this.
And all this while, the sound is still coming from upstairs, right?
Yeah. It'll pause maybe for a minute at a time, but then it resumes methodically.
Old pipes. These houses are notorious for them.
All right.
So you walk into the living room to go set up your
Yeah.
photo. Make a power roll.
54 over 50.
Okay. So he walks away to go take this picture, and you hear a loud crunch from the living room.
El McCracken, what happened to you? We are leaving.
He can't speak.
yeah,
Speak up,
Can
boy.
I hear that?
I'll dart in there.
Yeah, but you're wondering why your camera's laying broken on the floor.
Yeah, I'll have a couple pieces of it as they come in.
We must get out of here. There must be some sort of leak, a gas leak or something. I'm not there. I'm heading towards the door.
Well, whoever comes in, I'll, questioningly.
Oh, you broke your camera?
Yeah, I'll open the door and leave it open.
Okay.
Perhaps some air will do some good in there.
Can I take my pad out and? Well, yeah, the film. Yeah, definitely. I want to kind of sketch out just the.
What you saw?
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll take the film of what I already have as well.
All right. What's the next step, guys?
Well, Johan's leaving.
You're all leaving?
Yeah, well, I'll make two. And then, as fast as I possibly can move, I'll run upstairs towards the sound that we keep hearing.
Okay.
Like, as fast as humanly possible.
So Vincent hangs back as you guys kind of file out, but then you hear him start booking it.
This house is haunted, I know it is!
I'll follow.
I'm going to follow him too. I kind of feel a need to prove all this to myself.
The Scheisen.
You're old. Just take a pipe.
I'll
for
be
a break.
waiting outside, you idiots.
All right, so you guys storm up the stairs into the
Oh, yeah. No way I was making upstairs. F you.
into the spare bedroom where the door still remains open. You can see the blood is gone, but there are bloody footprints that lead from about where the blood originated to the dresser.
So, I'll scream, show yourself, and run to the dresser and just throw it. Just, knock it over.
Okay. Power roll, Ezekiel.
68 over 50.
Okay. So Ezekiel whispers to you, although you don't see it happen. Finn, you're kind of standing behind him, so you see him open his mouth, but but it says, "Go away, solicitor." And that's what you hear
Okay.
from Ezekiel.
Right. But I saw him say something earlier too.
Yeah, you
with
just
his
heard
mouth
the
and
whisper because you were where you were focused on.
Okay.
But Finn saw the.
Yeah. So I'll be looking at Ezekiel.
Yeah, I'll focus on jerking all the drawers out and seeing if there's anything behind the dresser or whatever.
So luck ratings from you. Don't roll them. Just what's the rating?
60.
60.
50 or 40.
Okay. So he pulls out one of these dressers, hurls it behind him. It hangs in the air and then shoots at you like it had been fired from a gun or a cannon or something.
Or a
Okay.
catapult.
Make a dodge roll.
What is dodge?
It's half your dex.
Could I do a dex to try and get him out of the way?
It would be hard.
15 under 30.
I don't make it. I lost one of
Which
my dice.
would be half, right? So that'd be
Yeah.
Well, his dex is actually 60, but the hard would be 30.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So,
Okay.
Yeah. Because it's almost a critical success or whatever. Extreme? Yeah.
So
I got 31 over 25.
Ezekiel stands there like it might be an important delivery arriving from him. And you grab him by his shirt and pull him out of the doorway, and the dresser drawer hits the far wall in the hallway and breaks into its component pieces.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Same thing the bed did.
This time, one of the other ones that you threw onto the floor levitates up and fires at you, Vincent. Dodge roll.
No.
1 point of damage.
All right.
Bangs off your elbow as you throw reflexive hands.
Ah, my funny bone. I knew this place was haunted.
Thank you.
But when it hits you, it shatters like the other one.
All right.
And you can see the remaining, there's like 3 that are still in there. They're like rattling
Where do the footprints go?
to the dresser.
Where
Okay,
was...
so
You had said earlier there were candles in there. Which drawer were those in?
That was the one that was fired at Ezekiel. So now they're just
there's-
broken on the floor.
I'm going to take one
Okay.
and...
Yeah, in the 2 broken ones, do we see anything of interest?
Nothing
I'm gonna
unusual
light
at a
it.
glance. It works.
I'll take one and throw it out the window.
Another drawer comes at you, Vincent. Dodge roll.
No.
1 point of damage.
All right, I'm going to
Shatters.
push
On your forearm.
Ezekiel off of me and get up and rush towards the dresser
Okay.
and try and hold those last 2 in.
Okay. Make a strength check for me. And I need your level of success.
16 out of or under 70, it would be a hard success.
All right. So, yeah, you can hold them in. But there's some force, like a great force, that's trying to push them out.
Okay.
Am I hearing any of this out on the front lawn? Like soft thuds
Yeah.
and
Actually,
Vincent yelling?
I need sanity checks from everybody in here.
53. Can I use 3 luck?
You can't use them on.
Oh, okay.
sanity.
53 over 50.
66 under 79. 78.
So you two roll 1d4. That's your sanity loss.
99 over 48.
That's almost a fumble. So 2.
Huh?
What'd you? 1d4 sanity loss.
1d4.
No.
4.
4. All right, Ezekiel, you very nearly reached a bout of madness. You're 1 point away from it, so you're at the very limit of keeping it together.
Yeah.
But you both, the candle that you just lit falls from your hands, and you know. Other than that, that's what happens. But you actually take quick steps back, and you fall down. Or were you already on the ground?
He was already on the
Yeah, I was
ground.
probably
yeah.
already on the ground in the hallway.
Crab crawling.
Yeah, so you're like just scurrying backwards, muttering something, the same phrase, whatever you want it to be, just over and over again as you scurry backwards.
Something fled out the window.
What was it that the voice said to us?
Get out.
Get out.
I want you to leave.
Yeah, I think
you should
perhaps you should leave. That's what I'll be muttering over and over
Okay.
again as I backpedal.
Are you going to change the pronoun use in that case and say perhaps I should leave, perhaps I should leave?
No.
Keep it the same.
No, going to keep it. Perhaps you should leave.
All right, Vincent, you, the solid farmer, are keeping it together.
Yeah, but drawers are smashing.
Right, but
my
for
face,
now, he's
so-
still leaning against him, but you can see, like, he's pretty shook. He
struggling.
dropped the candle he had in his hand.
Yeah.
It went out when it hit the floor.
Well, if it was just me, that'd be different, but it's not. So I'll say let's get out of here. Let's go. We can't fight it, whatever it is.
So my hands are free, right? Because I'm just kind of pushing up
Yes.
against. Okay. So I'll
So
take
you'd
my
have full
pad.
range of motion with one, but your other one's kind of pinned. You could, like, manipulate the hand, but it's pinned between you
Yeah.
and the...
As I'll can I grab my notepad
Yeah,
with it just so I can write? So,
well...
well, and I can kind of trap it,
yeah.
right, and write.
Yeah, you can
so,
attempt to do that.
Here, let's see. Is it my left or my right that's open?
Just write down what you want to write, and then pass it off to me real quick, and then I'll write down what actually came through with all the struggling dresser. Okay. So it'll just say, help me push, and then it's like
Yeah,
a bunch
kinda.
of scribbles. And I suppose you rip it out with your left hand and hold it out to Vincent.
Yeah.
So it says help me push.
Yeah, then there was more, but it's
Well,
make it out.
I can push it the same way he is. I'll just assume that's what he means.
Well, when he starts to get close, what I'm going to try and do is pull it over so that the drawers are facing down, so they can't shoot at us while we're trying to
Okay.
Yeah.
escape.
Yeah, I'll help him tip it over.
Okay. Yeah, there's no check needed. You can definitely do that. Your check holds the drawers in place until you get it toppled over.
Okay.
All right, so it topples over onto the face, and it's still, but only for a moment. And then the entire dresser starts rattling. Make a dodge check.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
32 over 30.
This is half
Good
of
one
our
for a
decks.
luck roll. Or for
Is
a
that
luck.
right?
Yeah,
The dodge.
unless
Yeah, let
he
me
has
use-
a dodge skill, because you can train it. Which, if you guys succeeded on any check, sorry, Justin, forgot to mention, you put a little check mark.
Let me use some luck.
Okay?
Yeah,
does that work?
62
So you need to use
over.
enough points to get it
30.
to where you succeed, to reduce your roll to where you succeed. So
You
what, you
got
said
it.
35 over 30?
32 over
So
30.
only 2 points.
Okay.
But you won't get a check in the skill now.
Okay. Well, I made one earlier.
62 over 30.
Or not.
Alright. So by a combination of Vincent moving quicker and being in a better position, he gets out of the way. But it just comes forward and hits you for 1d3 damage.
So that'd be 2.
Yeah.
I'll check
Okay.
my pocket watch while I'm smoking my pipe outside.
Not a whole lot of time has
Yeah,
passed.
I'll be timing it.
Okay.
You just hear a bunch of stuff like slamming around. And
And I'll also try to keep track of when we first entered.
Okay.
All right, yeah. So I'll scramble after Vincent.
All right, so you get out of the room. You see Ezekiel's to the stairs. He's been crawling backwards. He gets to it. His hand drops off under that first step, and then he pauses. He's been whispering, "Perhaps you should leave. Perhaps you should leave." As he does so.
Good night. Grab him up and get to the stairs.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll nod my agreement at his statement.
And you guys all rush out.
Yeah. So I'll toss my lighter as we go back. Lit. It's a Zippo. Why not? No. Just mess with you. Burn this thing down.
All right, so Johan's out there. He's got his watch in his hand when you guys come for the second time out of the door. It took probably less than 5 minutes from when you walked out.
I'll snap it close. The poison in there is most potent. You seem to be having quite a row.
I'll
Yeah.
I want to spend some time later kind of sketching out some of the stuff that had happened there, like the drawer kind of flying out,
All right.
things
So,
like that.
I think we'll get into a wrap-up stage. You guys have retreated
Yeah.
for the day.
Go write our reports.
Yeah. So what is your plan, or what are your plans going forward? Just to file the report and write it off? I mean, most of you do have jobs that you eventually have to get back to. This has been a Deathwatch production. Thank you for listening.